So we're gonna run through our postseason ACC awards, and then I'll let y'all finish the show. Um, it go full screen here. Let me see. All right, this is what
Yeah,
we got right here. Unanimous. We don't need to talk about ACC Player of the Year. That's a lock. Coach of the Year is a lock. ACC Rookie of the Year is a lock. We we all had the same first team. I think I just copied y'all because I didn't want to be different on the graphic. But I don't think besides like Renault, like I think the first four are pretty much locked.
Yeah.
And then y'all can see our second team, all defensive team, 6 man of the year, defensive player of the year, and most improved player. Let's start with the first team. Because we all agreed on it. But my little kind of hesitancy with that was, does Renault make it because he didn't have the numbers
I mean,
versus
well, I thought
Duke
I don't
Harris?
know because I scoring wise, I think he's having a pretty good season. And I mean, Miami's been somewhat, not somewhat, they've been the surprise of the ACC, honestly. But scoring, I think Renault was like 19 tonight, somewhere around there. Like,
They did
so
lose though, but yeah.
yeah. Renault is top 5 scoring in the ACC,
yeah,
and he's like 13th in rebounding. I mean, I look, they're the third best team. My reasoning was they're the third best team record wise in the ACC. He's very clearly their best player.
yeah,
To me, there's not a better, like, if you wanted to go because Juke Harris scores 2 more points a game than him or whatever, but Wake Forest is so much worse.
yeah.
Yeah.
Like, and
Yeah.
I'm not even saying that's Juke Harris's fault, but in terms of like who affects winning the most, it's probably got to be Renew. Is it Renew or Renault? I think it's
I
Renew.
don't even know.
Renault. I think I've heard most people say Renault, so that's what I'm gonna go with.
I feel
Renault.
like sometimes when I watch different broadcasters, they say different shit. But yeah, I mean, like he impacts winning for them in a big way, and I've been a bit of a Miami skeptic all year, so I'm
Me
not
too.
even trying to like say, oh, clearly head and shoulders, whatever else, but like for me, it was between him and like Conwell and Boopy Miller, maybe for that last spot,
Yeah.
and
Conwell
you go
Conwell has
and
a
you
KC.
and you go with the best team, and you go with the guy from the best team. Like that's how I looked at it. I mean, like I think that Miller and Conwell and Harris also, and frankly, the reason why I voted McCray, you guys didn't have McCray, but like the big reason why I had all of those guys is these are the guys who I feel like impact winning for their teams the most.
Yeah.
And so when it came down to first team, it was like, well, which of the teams is best? And maybe that's not fair to some of the other guys, but at the same time, they chose to play for those teams. So like I don't know. To me it was not really much of a question. My first team was pretty straightforward.
Okay. So we can move on to first team since we all agree with that. The second team is where we all have somebody different.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I have Vasar making it.
Yeah.
And
You're the only one
Donaldson.
with Trey Donaldson.
You guys didn't have Donaldson. I thought that was a miss.
You didn't see the game today.
I did.
I don't mind Donaldson.
He made my third team, yeah.
Yeah, I really don't mind Donaldson. If you wanted to put Donaldson over Conwell, I'm not gonna argue too much.
Nah, I won't put Conwell because Conwell.
No, I'd argue that.
Yeah.
I'd argue against that.
I mean, because it's just like, honestly, if you want to, Conwell has the numbers, but like I don't like to the whole. Y'all remember the year Eric Green won like Player of the Year, and Virginia Tech was like worst in the conference. Like, you know what I mean? I really like the way that Miami. What did Miami finish? Did they get like? Did they finish
Third.
5?
They finished third.
Yeah, third.
So if that's why I would say, like, if you want to say Donaldson over Conwell and just like attach the team winning aspect to your reasoning, I'll listen to that. You know what I mean?
But he's not the best player on the team.
No. No,
They do deserve. I think they deserve 2, like on the top.
but like
2.
they deserve some love though. Like they really.
I think they deserve 2 in the top 3. I'd have him on my third team. I'd have Vasar on my third team. You know, like I think that the top teams in the ACC, deserve a hat tip across the board. But like Conwell's stats and Miller's stats and Harris's stats are ridiculous. And I would even argue McCrae's stats, because again, I'm the only one who had him in the second team. But like those stats are ridiculous. Like those teams don't perform nearly as well unless those guys are there. In a way that like Trey Donaldson, while he was far more efficient than I frankly expected him to be this year, based on having watched him a bunch last year at Michigan, he performed quite well. But like Miami had a pretty light schedule. They performed well against it, but like he's the second best player on a team, and I don't know if that team was so abundantly great over the course of the season that I was like, well, I've got to give them 2 in the top 2 teams. Whereas Duke is really the only team where I did feel that way. Right. Like I thought that UNC and Miami deserved 2 guys in the top 3 teams, but not in the top 2 teams. That was more or less how I shook out. And again, McCrae was so impressive. If McCrae's not on that FSU team, they're like a bottom 3 team in the ACC. Like that, he was so incredible, and especially down the stretch, he was phenomenal for that team. They finished 10-8 in the ACC. That roster, look at that roster and tell me that's a 10-8 in the ACC roster. And I think a huge reason for that is McCrae.
That's fair. I thought I was trying to find a way to get Pat on the second team, but I think it was just too many.
He'd be on my third.
Yeah, I think he should make the third team. All defensive team. You guys have 3 Duke Blue Devils. Like I said, I voted like the ACC is going to vote. I feel like they're not. You could boo all you want. I don't think they're going to give Duke 3 spots.
Which is insane. That's insane.
It's like I get it, but it's like I honestly don't think that they are doing like a correct job if you don't strongly consider giving Duke 3 guys on. Like, how could you not have these 3 guys on first team all defense? Like, I just don't. The best defense in the country, not just the ACC, the best defensive team in America, and
by a lot.
Like, everybody knows the importance that Pat plays, just based off of like how the UNC game went, just alone. We know what Maliq Brown can do. A lot of people like Dame Sard literally is about to skyrocket his way into the first round based off how good.
Just on saying that.
Hey, listen, I don't gotta say it. I cannot say it or not. These scouts know what's up. Like the tape don't lie, bro. Like that, he's one of the better defensive players, like just ability wise in college basketball. Like, and it's not, and I get like, it just seems like, well, we don't want to give Duke everything, but this is not even one of those like Duke gets all of the rewards, Duke gets all the love type thing. These are legitimately, I think, the 3 best defenders in the ACC.
Yeah.
Like, so,
no,
but I'm biased, y'all. I'm biased. I'm gonna throw that in there.
No, I agree. I think the reason why I couldn't go with Uday, I couldn't go with Trimble. I thought about Uday. I didn't think about Trimble at all, frankly. I thought that because Duke, Virginia, and Clemson are the top 3 defenses in the ACC, and frankly, it's not close. It's not even remotely close. The 4th best team, the divide between Duke and Clemson is the equivalent of the divide between Clemson and the 4th best team, right? Like those 3 teams are by far the best defenses in the ACC. I thought Godfrey is the best defender for Clemson. That was my personal take. So I chose to go with the 3 best defenders from the best team because, again, the best team, we are 6 points of defensive efficiency rating higher than the second best team. I mean, that's preposterous. Like,
Yeah.
like Miami is closer to Virginia than Virginia is to Duke, which is insane.
That's true.
So I picked 3 from Duke for that reason. I picked who I thought was the best defender from the second best defensive team, which is Virginia, and I picked the best defender who I thought was the third best defensive team, which is Clemson.
Yeah.
And that's what led me to that. I don't doubt that Uday will be on there. If Trimble makes it, I'm gonna be floored, dude. UNC is the 9th best defense in the ACC. He's probably not even the best defender on.
Nah, if he make it, it'll be a reputation call. Like it'll
That's
be
what-
just.
but
based
that's-
off
that-
of-
Basar is the most important defender on UNC.
That's what I kind of thought, though. It's more of a
because he
reputation.
hasn't. All you gotta do is listen to Carolina fans. Is Lindsay Elson here? Ask him about how good Seth Trimble been on defense. They all been
No,
mad
but
at him all year.
He's
This
had
ain't
defensive moments. I think when he played Michael Brown, but I thought that was solely like that wasn't like I think he's one of the best 5 defenders in the ACC. It's more so.
You said you voted like you think the conference.
Even
Yeah,
if they feel that way, I feel better that they'd pick Godfrey. I feel better that they'd pick Grunlow. I feel better that they'd pick Vasar. I feel better. Like if
Honestly,
we're
they might
talking
pick
about-
Caleb Wilson too.
they could pick Caleb Wilson, even though he's sort of objectively not the best defender on that team.
Another guy on that all defensive team.
It'd be pretty wild. I would bet money on Trimble not being there. I feel pretty confident about that. Maybe I'm wrong, and if so, then I lose money. But like I think that there are plenty of defenders in the ACC, even beyond the Duke part of it. Like if you are a defender on the 9th best defense in the ACC, I don't think you belong on an all defensive team. I just don't. Uday is on the 5th best defensive team. Louisville is the 4th best defensive team. And Louisville's not that good defensively. You know what I mean? Like that tells you everything about everything beyond the top 3 teams. But again, Louisville is closer, Louisville's closer to Virginia than like North Carolina is to Louisville almost in terms of defensive efficiency. So like,
Okay.
I don't know, man. Maybe this is just me being hopeful that people will like sort of use their eyeballs. But again, I think if they use their eyeballs, they'll see that Vasar is the more important defender on UNC.
But ACC voters don't use their eyeballs, so.
Well, no, they don't.
But Zion, you're not wrong. It wouldn't shock me if they put him.
Also, none of us picked TO's Player of the Year, BJ Edwards.
Yeah, because I thought that was crazy.
That was
that was a clear
nuts.
like.
They're 16th in the ACC in defense. At least with BJ Edwards, he has. Look, there's no justifying putting him as the Player of the Year. But if you wanted to put him, say, on the all defense team, you could say, here is how they played with him versus how they played without him. Yeah. And if you wanted to do that, then at least there's an argument. I wouldn't make that argument, but that is an argument that one can make. I do think he's a talented guy.
If you go that deep within your argument, then you have to go that deep within like saying Maliq Brown should be defensive player of the year.
Dude, I don't disagree. I'm just saying that like if somebody wanted to try to hang their hat on a thing, the difference between SMU's defense with him versus without him, at least from the eye test, I'd have to look at his analytics or whatever, but at least the eye test tells me they are much better one way than without him, but they're still not that good either way. Like they're not Duke, they're not Virginia. I don't know, man.
Yeah. So then in that right, let's go with the defensive of the year, play of the year, because we both had Chance Mallory. We all had Chance Mallory, and then we all had most improved Drew Karras. Was kind of no debate really. Defensive player of the year. I will ask y'all this: are y'all changing your votes from Dame to Maliq?
I kind of want to do it. That look crazy, right? That look crazy because I'm sitting up here like, yeah, Maliq's locked it up tonight, and I picked Dame Star like.
But I'd still pick Dame. I'd still pick Dame, but I think that Maliq had an incredible game in a game that really mattered. and that does matter. If he
It
wins,
matters.
I'm going to celebrate. You know what I mean? If he wins, I'm going to be really stoked. Would I personally cast my vote for Dame? Yes. But Maliq has been an absolute joy to watch and is an unbelievable defender, and the deflections and everything else. I mean, like, you can't, it's the sort of thing where you could choose somebody else, but you can't be mad if he wins. You know what I mean? You can't be
Right.
like, he shouldn't win it. It's like, yeah, I mean, he's so good. I mean, sure. Yeah, give it to him. Why not? You know, like,
Yeah.
that's how I feel about it.
I mean, honestly, if you ask me, I'm biased, but then again, I can be biased because that doesn't make what I'm about to say less true. It absolutely should be one of the two, either Maliq or Dame. I don't even really think it should be like much of an argument. I mean, if you want to make an argument for Onyeso with the blocks thing, because I know people love stats and his block numbers are lofty. His stats are lofty.
Boo.
You know what I mean? I just like really, if you're using your eyes, which I'm with you, Zion, I don't think the voters use their eyes too much. You know what I mean? And that's what kind of scares me. You know what I mean? If you're using your eyes, it's hands down either Maliq or Dame. I'm not gonna really like be. It's kind of like the NBA Rookie of the Year thing. Give it to whoever the hell you want. Either one of them is gonna be one of our guys. Like, you know what I mean? I'm not gonna argue too much. Just as long as it's one of our guys, because it absolutely should be either Maliq or Dame. But to answer your question, yeah, he got me.
I don't think it's
Maliq got me tonight. I'll change. Huh?
I don't think it's a 2-man race. I think it's a 3-man race. And that's a big reason why I kind of go with Dame, because Maliq and Pat are both so incredibly impactful on that end.
Yeah.
I mean, Pat is insanely impactful on that end.
I was trying not to be greedy. You right, but I mean, I'm already being, you know what I mean, like giving nobody else a chance at
least
like,
if Pat's out,
right.
then you put in Maliq, who's also an elite defender. Now he's a different type of defender, as we talked about it, and that changes things. But if Dame wasn't in, who plays the defensive role that Dame plays if Dame's not in the game?
Very true.
Nobody. Right?
Very
Nobody.
true.
Nobody is able to quite do exactly what he does.
Do you guys think the voters are penalizing Maliq for not being a starter?
Yes, I do.
I don't think so because
I thought about that. I honestly
Onyeto's not a starter.
Yeah, I mean, but
it's
as far
fair.
as like player of the year, like
that's why T.O. went with Edwards. I guarantee is because he
I know why T.O. went with Edwards. He thought there was no, he couldn't put a Duke player on there, and he wants to feel like unbiased. I feel like
the reason why T.O. went with Edwards was because he didn't want to pick a Clemson. He didn't want to pick Godfrey because he didn't want to look like a Clemson homer. That's why he did it. I
don't think so. I think it was to avoid a Duke Blue Devil, because his whole list would have been Duke.
But it's the best team. It's the best team. I mean,
and I can't help that.
I think the T.O. rocks. I think the T.O. is one of the best guys doing it, man.
I really like
this is nothing against T.O., but I think that T.O. is overthinking it if he's trying to pick a non-Duke guy there, because man, like when you have the best defense by a lot, by 0.8 in adjusted defensive rating on KenPom, by 0.8 above Michigan. By 0.8 above Michigan, who has some of the biggest guys on the planet are on that team. Like, you know what I mean? Like I just don't know what they are thinking. Like Florida, the difference between Florida and Duke is the same as the difference between Florida and like Tennessee or Virginia. Like there's a big gap there. I think that T.O. is concerned that Maliq Brown plays 18 minutes a game. That's what my thought is. And so I do kind of think that's kind of why I thought that Dame might be the better option, because at least he plays 22, 23 minutes a game versus Maliq playing 18. But Maliq is so good at defense. I mean, like he's incredible on defense. So that it's going to be hard either way. I think that Jamahal makes a good point about like just what people are going to hold against Duke. Mm-hmm. Not about because it's Duke necessarily, but because it's hard to give defensive player of the year to a guy who plays less than half the game. I think it just is. You
I
know,
think that's going to be a factor in him not winning an award. I really do.
I mean, Teal also put True Washington at 6th man, and I looked that up. True Washington has started in 19 of 26 games, so I don't think he could win that award.
Did he really? That makes me hold on.
Hey, no, that's that's wild.
Wait a minute. In ACC play and everything?
Games is crazy, G.
It was like maybe a 14-7 in ACC play, but yeah, I don't think he's eligible.
So maybe that's why he did it. Because
I mean, okay. I guess there's a chance that depending on what the I don't know what the benchmark is. I don't know what the benchmark
probably just using like ACC play for a barometer, because honestly, I considered I gave strong consideration to Isaiah for first team because of his ACC play and just.
Well, I considered True Washington for 6th man, but I thought that maybe he had started too many games. But maybe what the voting process says that he I don't know what the parameters are, right? So maybe I'm wrong. Maybe it will be True Washington, but like either way, I think that
well, yeah.
Chance
Maliq has started in 0 games.
Yeah.
Huh?
I actually think Maliq is actually probably still in that conversation more than True Washington, but you know, it is
maybe. I mean, maybe it is a 50% though. Maybe that is the threshold. I think Chance Maliq is a great pick for that because he's objectively been terrific for the second best team in the ACC by what is very clearly a country mile. You know, like I think that goes without saying that he should win that. And Juke Harris kind of goes without saying too. Although frankly, I think that Pat Gangba, I think that he's an option for most improved that people should strongly consider. They won't give it to him because Juke went from like 5 points to like 20.
I'm about to say Juke jumped up. It's like 16 points a game, bro.
If you were considering impact on both sides of the floor, I think you would have to consider Pat in a big way. That's not how voting works. Juke will win, and Juke, frankly, deserves to be right there.